Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's model has a unique eyebrow. It's full. She does have sparseness and gaps throughout. But the reason why I say it's a little unique, if you saw her whole face, I don't show the whole face just because to cover their identity, is that her front of the eyebrow is very low, and then she's got a high arch, so it almost looks like a ski slope. And if you have something like that, then this is definitely your video. If you know someone that has a brow like that, definitely share this video. But even if you don't relate with this particular brow, I promise you, you'll still pick up some tips. I have been shaping eyebrows for over almost 25 years now at the Anastasia salon in Beverly Hills. Please come by, get your brow shaped if you're in the neighborhood. And some of you have. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for trusting me with your eyebrows. I've seen pretty much just about every eyebrow, but on occasion, I do still get surprised, which is always fun for me. So my goal in having this page is to show the best shape possible. It is not something where I'm telling you should or should not do. I'm here to just show you the best shape possible because I believe that's the hardest thing. It's all about shapes for me, but on occasion I will talk about the colors. And speaking of colors, I have makeup that people always ask, what lipstick are you wearing? What's this? What's that? So I'm going to try to make it a habit to tell you guys what I'm wearing in the description. So check that out. And I will be putting all the products on there as well. So it will be in the descriptions as well as being tagged. I will tag all the products. So I believe with tagging, you could tap the screen and it should pop up while you're watching the video, while you are getting your lesson. So thank you, and let's bring on the model. So as I've said, not a very common brow because as you can see with me, it just swoops really down, right? Like a ski slope. Her brow is going to be adjusted. And with the white outline, that's where I'm going to try to do is just raise the front to where it looks still very much the same, but just a tiny bit up higher. So she doesn't get more of a, she doesn't get a ski slope more than kind of a little bit of a brow lift. And you can still see a kind of a higher arch. She's never gonna not have that, partly because she has that hair all the way to the top growing all the way to the top. So she'll always have that enhanced arch naturally. So lucky her, right? So again, beautiful brow. We're just gonna raise it up a tiny bit. And the main area that I'm gonna focus on is just right in this area that I am outlining. So that just doing that little area, if you have a brow that's just really high of an arch and you want it just a tiny bit fuller, this is just a really good area to focus on. If you just apply color following your natural hairline just right below, that will change a lot. And try it out. It's just makeup, right? You could always take it off if you're like, I don't like this. Or you're like, it doesn't look too bad, especially if you don't look at the other side of the eyebrow and go, oh, I can do this. Wear for one, see if that is for you. So those are really good tips to try for yourself without committing. So this brow has now been shaped a little bit, and those are the two areas again that I'm going to focus on. Now the front part, I don't know if you can see it, but she's got a lot of gaps in between the front of the area, which most of us do. You don't have it densely populated up here as you do in that top middle area. That's where most of us have the concentration of the hair. So up in the front is just going to be a little bit of color, but that bottom area, that's the main area. So here's a couple of tips. If I haven't touched on it already, there's a few things I want you to try to do if you're not doing this, is holding the pencil a certain way. I'm using the Brow Wiz Define. No, it's not Definer, it's just Brow Wiz. We have so many different pencils. So this is probably the favorite out of most of the clients because it's easy, it's thin, so you can just have more control. What you don't want to do is hold it on like you're poking your eyebrow. Notice how I'm holding it sideways. Now, even though I'm behind her head and drawing in, even on myself, I tend to hold it this way. So when you hold it sideways, you're less likely to press really hard and you get more of a softer application. So as you can see right here, I'm going up and down, kind of in the similar direction as the way the hair is growing. So light pressure, and you're just going up and down, mainly focusing above that front area. And I'm going up and down because I want to go in between those hair gaps because she's got those gaps up in the front. So this just allows a light application of background. Now you can already see that she has hair, that she has color over her hair. So it's subtle. And that's what I'm trying to go for. So, but if you noticed on me now, is that when I did this, I focused mainly up here. Yes, I went down below just to get some color in the background, but I went this way above that low area because you want to raise the brow up. Now, I didn't do this on myself because I purposely, of course, went down low because, I try to make it look a little bit. We're just going to pretend we wax this area. So I'm going back here, just going in that sweet spot. I call it sweet spot. This is one of my favorite things to say because that is one of the most important areas. Remember that lower outline. So I'm applying a little bit of a heavier pressure when I go to the middle and the end of the eyebrow, partly because I want it to be a tiny bit darker now. And the reason why you want it to be a little bit darker, because I like that where it's light, medium, and dark towards the end of the brow. To me, that looks a little bit more natural. And she does have thicker, darker hair strands, but I'm using a light pencil. On her, it's a taupe color. On me, I'm using ash brown. You can use that color if that is you. Now, the reason why I lifted this up in the front is we're just going to say that we wax, but I purposely put color down below just to kind of mimic that brow. And so up here, again, I went this way higher. And then here's that sweet spot. Now, I'm not going to hold it like this. I'm laying it down. You could also do it this way. Try this way as well, like a windshield wiper. So you're just isolating it right in there. So that's something that you can try to see if you can do. But if you do it this way, make sure you lay the pencil down. So there's your sweet spot right there. Now I'm using the tinted brow gel. She's got a lot of light strands along with the darker strand of hair. So by using the dip brow, I'm just going to darken this up and thicken it up a little bit, but I'm going lower here. Using the dip brow gel will just add some color, add a little bit of extra texture in the areas that she doesn't have much hair. She does have a few strands in there, so it's just going to give it a little bit of a thicker look. So that is something to consider. The dip brow gel does not have clear gel in it, so it doesn't set the hair, but the main function is to make the hair strands thicker, because it adds fiber, and of course it darkens the hair a little bit. So this is just a really good one to use. I like to just go a little bit on me and also carry it around when I travel, because in case I don't have time to cover my grays, this is a perfect thing to use. So like I said, it doesn't have a clear gel in there, so it's not going to set the hair. You don't have to use a clear brow gel. It's something that's optional. I'll get to that in just a second, but now, I use the highlighter. I usually use it before, but in this case, because of the gel, I used and I'll tell you why in just a second. I'm applying a little bit right underneath the eyebrows, right this way, so that it gives it a nice clean look, because it can get messy, especially when you're using a colored gel. If you can get it on the skin, which is why you want to apply with light pressure. So you're just coating the hair, you're not getting it on the skin. So by applying this right underneath, you just clean up any type of, pencil or like the gel, and then you use the brush 18 to clean it up further to make it look a little bit more polished. Brows are looking already good. So that's something that I say you should always have. These two guys are like everything to me, because it just corrects so many things. So that's what I mean by, I often say you can be a professional as well. You can look like a professional when you use those products, the 18 and the highlighter, because it just, again, gives that clean, polished look. So here's a clear brow gel. She clearly has hair, right? And right up there in that arch area, it's really thick. But the clear brow gel is really going to help keep the products on that much longer, meaning the pencil, but it just sets the hair, makes it look even that much more polished. This before and after is very subtle, right? As you can see here. Did you notice? You probably didn't notice as much when I was going through the eyebrows, especially even after it was shaped, that's the whole trick, right? Properly shaped, you don't notice a lot of the gaps. But the top area, the before, is really gappy. Is that a word? But as you can see right up in the front here, at the top front over here, you can see that there's a lot of missing hair. But when it was lifted a tiny bit strategically, it just looked cleaner and thicker, and you don't see the gaps as much. So that's why I really pointed out that front part area. But this area right here was just the big difference. It was lowered, but you can still see that arch. She still has it naturally because she's got a lot of hair up there. You don't want to take away natural shape. You want to just enhance it and lift it. So hope this tip helped. Please share this with anyone that you know can use this tip. I understand that this is not a very common brow, but the tips that I have here still is, I think, very good for most of us, where you have it really thin up in the front. You want to raise it up, meaning with some color up here. It just raises a brow, right? And if you have it thin underneath, where I think a lot of us do, just following your natural curve, especially if you like the shape of your eyebrows, you just want to go a little thicker or fuller. You just add color right below and following your natural shape. That just makes all the difference. And work with it. Like add a little bit down below and see how much fuller you want to go. Because I often say it's just makeup. You can start all over again. So it's not permanent, right? Unlike my permanent tattoo. But anyway, so definitely give me a like if you like this this video, and share this, like I said, and please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're thinking about it and you're not sure, please tap that subscribe button, because then every week I give you some new tips, hopefully. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys right back here. Thank you.